بسم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome all of you, wherever you are. I welcome you again with the first lecture of on the seventh day, the first part of the Fatwa life. May Allah accept from you and repeat the rest of the month with goodness and peace and harmony and tranquility on all the Muslims. The first question. I have a student from Africa. She wants to wear the hijab, but because in her country they are very racist against Islam, and she's afraid to put her that they will take it by force. And also her family will be sarcastic of her. She wants to marry a Muslim money in her country. Her mother is the only one who will support her in this marriage. So what does she need to do? The answer, the fear itself is not a reason to leave something that's obligatory or to do something that is forbidden. But if that fear became reality, that is happening, then you could go into the temporary exception. That's after consulting with the knowledgeable people who are close to this situation. So they will be able to tell her when she can and how long that permission is. And she need to leave that area. She need to migrate from that place whenever she is capable, if she is capable. So you'll be able to worship Allah Azza wa Jal, and you'll be safe with your religion. And Allah Azza wa Jal's land is so wide and big. Allah said, O my servant who believed, my land is very vast and very big, and worship me. Also Allah Azza wa Jal said, those that the angels take their lives when they did themselves wrong, when they gave to the weakness, and they were saying, and they were capable of leaving, they were capable of changing the place. So Allah Azza wa Jal said that when the angels took their souls, they asked them, what were they doing? They were weak on earth. He said, wasn't God's land wide so you could migrate in it? Those are the ones who are going to settle in the hellfire, and it's a bad place. And Allah gave an exception for those who are incapable of migrating. And He said, except, and He put the exception for the weak from the men and women and kids who have no way and they cannot guide to way out. Those, may Allah forgive them, and Allah is most forgiving. As far as the marriage, she cannot marry except with the father. That's if they are Muslims. The guardian has to be a Muslim. But if they are Muslim and they refuse, then her guardian goes to the Muslim judge because of the hadith. If they disputed, then the Sultan, the authority, is the guardian for those who have no guardian, and Allah knows best. How a woman who's still in school, how they could take care of their father who's old and he has Alzheimer? Well, the answer they do with whatever they can, and that's easy for them, and more to serve him, to be kind to him, to be patient on his messes, and not to be rough with him in action or in uttering words, and to do everything they can of help. It was narrated that Sufyan ibn Ayyina said, "It is easy to be good and obedient to your parents. It is a very smiley face and very lenient towards. And it's not with money, but the ease of the face and the good talk and the good manners." In the hadith of Abi Hurairah, the saying of the Prophet ﷺ, you are not going to have everybody with your money, or you're not going to win people with their money, but you could get them, you could win them with the enlightenment of your face and the good manners. So you have to smile, to be cheerful, and also the good manners. The other question, the saliva in the throat and the mucus, and that whether that will break your fast. I will say the saliva is not going to break your fast. The mucus is a different issue that is disputed. It does not break your fast. It is very strong, of course. Ibn Uthaymeen, he suggested that. But swallow it because so if it's in the house and you swallow it, there's two saying for the skulls. So some they said it will break your fast because and some who said this is saliva, it's not the it's part of you. The other one said no, it's like food. But the others who have stronger evidence, it's part of you, part of just like the saliva. And there is a dispute between the scholars. Then you look at what the Book of Allah on the Sunnah is. If it came out, to spit it out. But to say that he broke his fast, you need to have a proof. That will be a proof to the human being in front of Allah. It is, of course, more guardian to not intentionally swallow that mucus. Another question. A company work in real estate with the collection of money from those who participate. You fix the real estate and you sell it. It depends on the real estate and its place. But sometimes you buy and it will be loan and you have to pay it. If I participated with money and I took the profit after selling or partial of the value, did I eat something that is forbidden? It is okay to have partnership with somebody who borrow his money in riba after you give him an advice. He owned it by loan it, and he take it in any way he wants, and it will be on him the sin of the riba, and to him he get that burden. Every soul is responsible for its own actions. Can you adopt by necessity. Some people they take their kids, and we took them because they are Muslims. We don't want them to go to non-Muslims, and they leave their religion. The answer for Amja, they have a decision about adoption uh, in as a form as it's it says about adopting the orphans outside from the children Muslims outside Muslim countries. So what does it say? The orphans and like them. It's from the best. Uh, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Me and the adopter of the taking care of the orphan in paradise like this," and he bit between his two fingers. Originally, is to attribute the child to someone besides his father, and it is from the time of ignorance. It is from the things that are forbidden in Islam. Allah said, Allah did not make you calling claiming them to your kids. That's your saying. Allah say the truth, and He guides to the right path. Call them to their parents. It is better. It's more fairer with Allah. If you don't know their fathers, then they are your brothers in religion, and they serve you. So there is nothing wrong if you made a mistake, but what you had intentionally did in your heart. So if that adoption became the only way to save these kids from the children, Muslim kids, so they will not be adopted by churches and stuff like this. So you have to let the Islamic center know and to be registered in this in Islam. If your wife can give him breastfeeding, that will be good. So you could fix the mixing in the future. Someone's asking about dealing with the stock market and with companies from Canada, online brokerage. There's two sides for this question, it seems. You're talking about the stock market and the boycott of certain Western companies that support Israel and the aggression in Palestine. If we are talking about the stock market and its issues, these are investments for some is it permissible and some is not. It has a permanent market that makes it easy to get the sellers and buyers and gives it the quick contracts on shares and products and calamity. And the whole issue is to um, buy and sell and demand and those who buy and sell and you could take care of it's preventing the professionals from scamming the people who are unaware. This beautiful things also there is certain things that are forbidden, gambling, uh, monopoly, and taking people's money falsely. That's why it's very hard to give a rule, just one general rule that governs everything. You have to look at each of the dealings individually, so you could assess and make a verdict on it. And we summarize the contract that happens in the stock market. The quick contracts on the product that's available in the hand of the seller. It is permissible as long as it's not for something that is forbidden. But if it's not in his hand, you have to have the conditions of the guarantees, and you cannot, if you buy it, sell it before you hold it. Also, those contracts on the shares of these companies, it is allowed unless those companies deal with something that is forbidden. Uh, the all the loans that are taken on the bonds and stuff like this is not allowed. Also, what you don't own, or the how, and it was forbidden on this kind of selling. He said, because the Prophet ﷺ said, don't sell what you don't have, what you don't own, you don't hold. There is also more details, but is the lack of time. We're not gonna go through them. But if we're talking about the boycott, and that is something of the permissible things to do, which is to put the pressure on a certain entity to recalculate their options when it comes to a certain issue. So these products that we are boycotting is not forbidden by itself, but what is forbidden is the tools that is going to happen because of that support, like the all the things that's forbidden, like alcohol and so on. And if it is the originally is we sell and buy whomever we deal with, as long as it is a product that are permissible. And once it's the only way to get people to reconsider, to rethink, and sometimes becomes obligatory. And the expenses, it depends on the capability. And what you can't get it all, try to get as much as you can. And if the originality is to rush to stop the aggression and to call for that, then you look at the boycott of the most obvious, more aggression, and the worst in it's a crime against the humanity. And you apply that on the things that you have to look at what the Sun says. Today's questions. I need to donate to get a camera for a sheikh who make lectures online, does it okay to bring it from the zakah? Can I give it from the interest from the bank, whatever is? And yes, it is in the sake of Allah because that's one part of the struggle in the world. Allah said about this period and then struggle with them, a very tough matter. If he made it from the interest, it is okay, but you need to get rid of to begin with from any account that will bring that kind of interest. And that's one of the public issues that you could send. So you need to get rid of any part that is riba as soon as possible. Do you require to cover the you have to cover your private part when you're making the girl? No, you don't. Including the sujood of tilawah. What about somebody who woke up and he thought it is Fajr and he drank, and when he verified that he found that he drank at the time that he is not supposed to? Well, Alhamdulillah, Allah said in the Quran, "Oh Allah, forgive us if we have forgot or we made a mistake." As long as you didn't intend it, you didn't make it your intention, then you made a mistake, and that is fine. Alhamdulillah. I woke up for Fajr. I wake up my family and I go to the Masjid. Some of my kids, do I wake up everybody? Maybe it is good. You could go and pray Fajr. You pray with people. Wherever they called for that prayers. And you welcome back. You pray with your family. And with this way you bring between the good to good. And the restaurants in the United States, they throw a lot of food. And if somebody return for a minor thing, will not know what to do. What are the solutions? And also the merchants commercials. This came after the end of this market. Inshallah, we will continue. We'll do it in the next one, inshallah, which is after a while, inshallah. Subhanakallah, wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.